Hello everybody, welcome to the Sound Test Room. Today we're going to take a look at SilQ, so SilQ EQ from Tonapps, which is pretty much an essential app if you're into making music. I mean, I use it all the time, so we're recording songs and stuff like that because it's incredible. It's a 32 band stereographic, so you have 32 bands to play with here. Here you have your bass frequencies, then your lower mids, your upper mids, and your treble frequencies here. But now it's just been updated. I'll give you a quick guided interface before we get into using the app, or how I use it anyway, for different things. We now have this draw tool, so you can see all your 32 bands, but now you can basically quickly draw in your frequency. So if you're listening to a whole mix or a track or whatever, you can make adjustments kind of on the go, and you can go, oh yeah, that sounds quite nice. That sounds quite nice. And then later, and you can notice that both stereo bands are linked. So it's a stereo 32 band EQ. Then you could go to your frequencies and adjust them. You know, you can fine tune them, sort of thing. So that the draw thing is super useful. Whereas before you'd have to go down to the bass, you'd have to go through all the frequency ranges like that, and then make your adjustments like this. Whereas with the draw tool, lets you make quick adjustments like this, and then make your fine adjustments with the actual sliders. So okay, so we just want to reset that now. So we'll hit this and we'll reset. Okay, now this here is link, so you can unlink the channel, so you have independent control. Of course, you can then save your new setting. Well, let's go back to this for a second. Okay, are you sure? This little button here allows you to add music from, I'm running it as an inter-app audio, so, but if you were running it on its own, you could add music from your iTunes library. You can load a preset here. There are some presets to choose from here, basically. And and these are isolators. So if you're listening to a mix and you hit this, it will isolate your lower mid. And then you touch it again. Then this will isolate your upper mid. To get out of this, touch it again. And then you can isolate your treble as well, or your upper ranges, and of course your bass. So there's this, and then this is just about EQ. You can enable background audio and etc. and share it and things like this. So let's get into actually using it. So I've got this thing in Cubasis I'm working on. Now you'll notice it first off here I have two drum tracks. These two drum tracks are identical. So if I just basically solo the first track out, track from Funk Drummer, and it's identical to this one, except the difference is that the tracks are identical, but I have SilQ EQ switched on. Now if I switch SilQ EQ off, as soon as I switch it on, you'll see it colours the sound. It boosts the volume. So nice straight away that I get a slight boost in volume. Now, if I was to play, let me switch SilQ EQ off a second. Let me just mute one of these drum tracks. This was what I originally had. So I recorded Funk Drummer in, and then I started to add stuff. Now, this is quite a dense track. So you'll see that the drums get kind of lost. Can't really hear the drums at all. Now I can start to boost the volume, but it'll start to get too hot, and I want the drums to be out there, you know. Now I can do this as well also. I can get a slight boost on the drums by bringing in both tracks. So now I'm starting to hear the drums a bit better, and I haven't actually had to do anything, but it's still too hot, and I still think they sound too MIDI, too mid-rangey. So first of all, I'm going to mute this one again, and I'm going to bring in SilQ EQ, and I'm going to make some EQ adjustments to the drum track as it's playing. So I'll just start that again. Okay, so that's starting to sound a bit better. Now that's starting to bring the drums out in the mix a little bit. So here's a thing as well that you can also do. So you can mess around with the EQ, and then you basically have your mix. You might want to put more bass in or whatever to the drums, but anyway, for now we're going to leave that as it is. So I'm going to unmute this one, and I'm going to switch SilQ off. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to solo out this kit, and I'm going to use Studio EQ for the first drum track. And what I'm going to do is boost all the bass frequencies. So we should just have the drums now. Switch the bass on, and I'm going to take out some of that in, I think. So that's all I want on that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to solo the track that I have with SilQ EQ. So if it's a bit quiet, turn it up so you can hear it a little bit. Going to now normally I'd spend more time doing this, and there's a reason I'm doing this as well. So if we take these out now, and we'll just solo both of them. I'm starting to get now the fact like I might have different microphones on the kit, so I have more control over the bass end and more control over the top end. Now if I did it again, I could do if I duplicated this track again, I could do it then for the mid-range as well. So I'd have, but you know, for the sake of this, we have no time. So I'm going to add more mid on with the SilQ EQ. Now I'm trying to get that tight, punchy funk snare that I want. Now there's another reason I've done this as well, because just say how that sounds with the actual mix. Yeah, that sounds just down nice. You can hear the drums are now starting to breathe better in the mix. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add reverb to just the top end. So I'm just going to add reverb to the upper and mid frequencies that I've got running in SilQ, because I don't want reverb on the bass end of that pattern, because it's going to start to sound muddy and naff basically. So let's just take the mix down a little bit and hear how that sounds. Soloed out for starters. Let's just solo them both. Actually, just let's solo the funk drummer. Nice. And okay, so that's how I'd kind of use it, and of course I'd spend more time and get more and more into it. So let's see. There's obviously more. There's hundreds and hundreds of ways you can use SilQ EQ, but the fact that you have 32 band stereo graphics and now the draw tool to do your kind of big adjustments and stuff like that, and it's such a lovely sounding EQ as well. You know, it's not harsh or nasty sounding. You just let's just quickly let's see what we got here. It's what we got in media. Let's see. Okay, we'll try this one. Okay, so let me have a look at the mix stereo here. Let me have a look at this. I'll take that one out. Okay, and I'm going to add in SilQ into app audio. And we're going to put SilQ into the main mix channels here. Okay, so turn this down a little bit. We'll just start this off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply SilQ to the whole range of the mix. So like I'm going to kind of start to master the final EQ mix for this particular track. So I'm going to okay, make a few adjustments here. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna flatten out the mix again because I haven't closed SilQ out. It's still running the way it was, so I could have saved it and all the rest of it. So just gonna take this down a little bit and. on and on until you get your mix the way you want it. The thing is, with mixing anything or EQing anything, it's not a 5-second job, you know. There you go, guys. There is a quick demo of SilQ EQ with the new draw feature, which is splendid, and makes life loads easier to start off with the basics. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel please, and if you possibly can, become a patron. It costs you from as little as $1 a month to pledge, $1 a month to help support me in the sound test room. So we can get to carry on making these videos for you guys, and you can opt out anytime you like as well. I can't tell you how much it means to me as well, and how important it is to get the support. Alright guys, yes, super jobby. I'll see you later.